Hello, good day. This is Bright again once more with the continuation on our online training series. We are continuing today with our Google Form tutorials. To dive straight into the subject matter at hand, Google Forms is a cloud-based questionnaire. It is also a survey solution which has the unique feature of real-time collaboration in addition to powerful tools to customize the form questions. In a simple to understand way, imagine the questionnaire you've filled before. As most of us who have encountered those who have done research or we ourselves have been exposed to. In those questionnaires where you write in some details, you tick some others, you fill in some short answers for others, and however you may have responded. Now imagine putting those kind of forms on the internet. Imagine also the ability for everybody who has access to your form to have the information that was recorded, collated in one place, automatically analyzed, and the results brought out in a very friendly fashion. Beyond that, imagine all the things a computer can do, and imagine applying that to your forms. The possibilities are literally endless, which is what Google Forms does in a very simple explanation. So we all understand that it's cloud-based. In other words, it lives on the internet. And it employs the use of questionnaires. The real power is in the real-time collaboration. In other words, as people are entering data, you have access to that data and you can manipulate it however you like. And not just you, all of you can manipulate at the same time. And the powerful tools that you can use to customize it. For the sake of this episode, we might not be able to go fully into the extra tools, which we will, God willing, cover in a subsequent one. Nonetheless, even the basic tools which we'll be looking at in this session are more than enough to amaze you. These forms can also be used to create quizzes. We'll look more into that later on. Now, for the sake of this session, we will be doing a practical demonstration for creating the form used for this tutorial. Come with me as we do that. You're welcome back. Now we have a blank canvas. All right, hold on, let me quickly show you something, please. All right, let's quickly run through the steps in creating and using an online form. First of all, you go to forms.google.com. Then you sign into your Google account if you have not or aren't signed in. Please note that this application requires the use of a Google account. As we all know, Google accounts are what we use to operate our Gmail, our YouTube, among others. So once you have a Gmail account, you automatically have a Google account. The good thing about this is that Google has made it free of charge for us. So once you have a Google account, you automatically have a Google Drive account. A Google Drive account is simply a free cloud-based storage where Google gives everybody that signs up 15 gigabytes of free online storage. Then when you get into a Google account, we see a list of forms. We'll look at this shortly. Then you click on new form, select a title, select a theme, then add the type of fields you want, which we'll go through shortly. Select type of responses as applicable. Select if those responses are required. Then you submit it. I'll also show you how to get the link and how to share the link and how to shorten the link. We won't be able to look at custom links today, custom responses and other extended functions. We'll look at it in a subsequent episode. All right. Now back to our practical demonstration. So we're on a blank tab here. So we start by typing forms.google.com, which you have here. I press the enter button and it takes me to the page. And so the page has loaded. So we have, based on our steps to take, you click on new form, which is the blank, and you click on this. So we have clear form to work with. This is the beginning page. To start the design, we first of all click on themes, and this palette here represents themes. So we click on it. Let's assume we want to use a yellow theme. So we can click on this and the background becomes yellow. If you want the background and the highlighting to be different, you can click on background separate. Let's say we want it to be white. You can click on white here and you can see it has changed. Let's say we want to change the font style and for something playful like this. Yes, so we can see this has changed. When we are through, we just click the X and that's all. Now, we are aiming to, as a form of practical, replicate the form we have before. Let me quickly bring that out. So I'll just go to under Google Forms here. Yes, that's it. So this seems to be, look at the recent ones we had. Let's take a look at, no, not this. I think it's this. Let's take a look at, I think it's this. All right, so this is it. So to start with, we have a heading, online form webinar and these dates. So to change the heading, we simply click on this and we can delete it and type as we will. For sake of our time, I will simply copy this, right click, copy, come here, highlight everything, right click and click paste. And there, our title is done. If we want to add additional text underneath, we can put it here. But for this instance, I will leave it. The next thing we want to do is to have a form that collects email addresses. To do that, we simply come to settings and we click on collect email addresses. So there, that brings out the field for people to collect email addresses and it makes it mandatory. Now, if you would like people to get a copy of their submission, you can click here. If you want it to be optional, you can leave the first option selected. But if you want it to be always non-optional, you can select the second one. If you want it to be required to sign in and just one response per person, you can click this. And if you want it to be edited after submission, you can also click this. When you're through, you click save. So you can see our forms has changed and there's now a place for collecting email addresses. Going to our reference form, the first question here is, okay, the first section after this is a text box that says, please answer the following questions, and it goes on. To do this is quite easy. Just come to select the next field and go down here to title and description. So when you click it, a field appears which has an upper and a lower part. Now to write in the upper part, just like we did here, it's just a matter of selecting the text you want. Let me copy this here, copy it, come back here and paste it. Sorry, that's mine. And paste it here. And that's all. All right, we want to leave the description blank, but if you want, you can also put something there. Now, for the next field, which is a linear scale. How do I do a linear scale? So it simply is, in the first instance, it's simply a question scale. So we simply come here and click on the various options we have, but we'll click on add a question. When we do that, we then click the kind of questions we want and we click a linear scale. So this one gives you a scale to choose from a setting range you specify. Now for the questions, as usual, we click this and copy. And here you can just type it, and here we click paste. Now, since our scale here has 0 to 10, then we then come here and select the first option to be 0 and last option to be 10. If you want to put labels, you can put, let's say we want to put a label here as none, that's N-O-N-E, and we want to be the number 10 label to be full, F-U-L-L. So you can see. Then if you want this question to be required, in other words, everybody must answer it, then you click on required here. So let's see. How does it look? To see how a form looks like, we click on preview. So let's click on this. So you can see our form looks beautiful. You can see this. So you can see a none here and you can see a full here. Meanwhile, our reference here looks like this, but it doesn't have the none and full. This is how a reference form looks like. It doesn't have the none and full. So you can see that, right? Great. Great. All right. So the next question on our form here is, are you Microsoft Word certified? After that, we'll come back here. We'll come back to our question here and we'll click add the question. Now, for this, we simply copy this. Then we come back here and we paste it. Great. Now, what kind of answers do we want? We want there to be a yes, no, or others. So we simply choose the multiple choice questions, which is the topmost. Yes, selected here already. So we want the first option to be yes, second one to be no, and others. Now, interestingly, the Google Forms has already suggested pre-populating that for us. So we can just take the advice and click on yes. Yes appears. You click on no, excuse me, it appears. Then you can click on add other, and that's done. If you want another option, maybe like let's say you want to add this for sake of practical purposes, practical demonstration. Let's say you want to add uncertain, URCERTAIN. You can add that. If you want to be required, you can click here, and that's all. Let's see how it looks like. So we just refresh this, and you can see. Are you Microsoft Word certified? Yes, no, uncertain, other. If you want to remove any of them, you simply come and click the X beside it. Let's say you want to remove no. You click the X behind it. And let's look at how a form looks like now. And we can see the no is gone. So that's quite in a nutshell. Really simple, right? Okay. Now, same thing applies to are you Microsoft PowerPoint certified? Same thing applies to are you Excel certified? We've done this already, how to apply a linear scale. Now to type this, a short answer question, you simply come back to the forms, click on add question, but this time around you click on short answer. There you go. Now to get the question, we simply come here and copy this. If you don't have it on hand, you can always type it out. And we click paste. See? Once required, you can click required. Let's see how it looks like in our review. Okay, you can see this. What is the typing speed measured in minutes? And you can see this asterisk here, which signifies that this question is required. You must answer it before you can submit. All right, so we are doing well so far. And all the rest here have the follow the same pattern. For this last part, thank you for your time and response. You can just click on add the question. I beg your pardon, that's my error. You can always delete. Oh, this is a good example to show you how to go about this. Whichever field you're not comfortable with, you can always delete the delete button and it goes. All right. Now this time I want to add just text. So I click on this. In the previous times we filled the upper parts, but now we want, because this reference part just has a small letter. Thank you for your time and response, which I will highlight and copy. Now you can compare this with what is here. You can see this is a much bigger font. So this is a smaller font. So to apply that here, we simply come here, delete this upper part, then go to the description underneath and paste this here or type as necessary. And let's see how it looks like. Voila. Thank you for your time and response. It looks like what we have here, right? So we're doing well. Thank you. So after we're through with what we want, the next thing to do now, based on our PowerPoint, which is this. Okay, we've done all this, is to submit and get the link. Okay. Now to do that, we'll then go to send. Yep. So click on send. After you click on send, you then see if you want to send a direct email, you have a field for putting the email. But I forgot to mention something. To title your form, you just click on here and it's titled for you already. Okay, so you can always do that here. Okay, so you click on send. If you want to send to a particular person's email address, you click on this. So it will be attached in the email address. You can leave it as an attachment. You can leave it as a link. This will send as a link. Putting this, you send it in the inbox, as in the body of the email. You can also add collaborators. In other words, these are people who have access to editing and administrating the form. All right. Now, if you would like to get a link that you can send to people, you can just copy this out. This is the long form. To shorten it, you can click on shorten the URL, and this is the shortened form. You can see it's much shorter compared to, this is short form and this is the long form. Whichever one is okay, you can choose. If you would like to share form via Facebook, you can use this, or Twitter. Now, for those who are a bit more technologically inclined, I would like to embed the form in their websites. This is what you can use. These are the controls for the sizes. Let me just show you a quick example of this on my personal website, which is drbright.org. This is drbright.org/. Okay. Online form webinar. So we're looking at example. Okay, my bad. Okay, so this is the form we have on our website. You can see it. It's embedded in the website, which is what this can do for you. All right. Okay. So going back to our PowerPoint slide, and this is where we'll stop here for tonight. We'll stop at shorting the link. For other custom links, we'll look at that in a subsequent episode. And for these extended ones, we'll also look at it in a subsequent episode. Extended functions, which are also part of this, will also be looked at in a subsequent episode. This is really the beauty of Google Forms and online forms, excuse me, in general. So we'll look at this in a subsequent episode. These are all for the next episode. All right. So we'll call it a day right now. But if you have any questions, any comments, any queries, what you think we should add, or you think we should explain more, please feel free to drop a comment under this video. It will be on the website, it will be on YouTube, or better still, you can always send me a mail via mail@drbright.org. Thank you. Until next episode, it's goodbye. Have a great day ahead.